Friday, October 29th, my very first drive with Tesla FSD Beta, it's called. Now, the abbreviation is for full self-driving, but really it's much more like a advanced driver assistance system, or ADAS, or maybe call it advanced copilot. Basically, it's auto steer and acceleration and braking on, around town rather than on the highway. So Tesla's been very good in the highway. What they need is some data from the real world to help the fleet learn to use those 8 cameras around the car for an even safer future path forward for the entire fleet of well past 1 million, getting closer to 2 million Tesla vehicles that are already out there. There'll be an acceleration, a speed up of the rate of change, the smarts, the car exhibiting better and better and safer behavior over time will accelerate. So it could surprise all of us how quickly this arrives. It might not actually be years till you can do a more passive driving experience. With 1.35 million people around the world killed on roadways every year, I'm very confident we can do way better. You're about to witness me go through, actually, my very first drive with my wife and real commentary. I think if you watch this entire video, you'll probably agree with me that I did not put anyone at an elevated risk beyond the normal risk you take every time you set out in your car. What I mean by that is people in the car and out in the public were not at elevated risk because my hands were on the wheel. I could overpower the motor at any time to break out of self-driving mode of all sorts. Or the brake pedal certainly breaks you out of it as well. Or the stalk on the right, which you'll see me tap on to manually disengage. Please feel free to comment. Here we go. Awesome. I got the email, and then I think the email came an hour and a half after it offered the software. So that's kind of an interesting sequence. And I've already read this because they emailed it to me. All right. I'm going to go with chill. My wife's here. I want it to be the most least queasy driving and least assertive. And there's no traffic. It's pretty late at night. We might not even see a whole lot of cars, but a good situation to do the very first drive on. And let's see. There we go. The other thing to turn on is this. We want more of the screen. So already it looks different. Once I get in full self-driving mode, this is going to become wider. Right now it's not there. But when the gray circle, turns blue, that means I've double tapped the right stalk. And, oh wow, there's a visualization already. Why is it not large, however? So I'm going to stop the car. Just take a look at why autopilot. Expanded visualization. Widens when full self-driving is active. Okay, so as soon as I engage it, that's going to become bigger. And we can engage it because you got the gray wheel. The car is now driving. It put its blinker on. This is the very first time we've witnessed this. It's creeping forward, looking for no traffic. This is wild. And it's hesitating. And it's going. And given we're in chill mode, it actually accelerated with decent speed. Awesome. I think pretty quickly I'm going to want to go to the moderate mode. It did auto high beams. That's a weird decision. Can I override that? Okay, I got to keep some grip on the wheel there. So you saw it blue flashing, complaining a little. I was too passively holding the wheel. Not bad so far, but it hesitated on accelerating, making us a little nervous in the very first acceleration. But it probably doesn't help that I'm on chill mode. So it wasn't quite assertive enough. But at least the car that was coming was quite far away. It was no big deal. It's still not showing a bigger screen. It's only showing like 2/5 of the screen showing the visualization. So I'm not quite sure what's up with that. I'm going to park the car and check into that. And we'll change the mode as well. All right, here we're at a stop sign with no other cars. So rather easy. You see my hands just letting the wheel slide. Wow, this is freaky. Oh, it's accelerating kind of a little fast, yeah. All right, let's see how it handles the next turn with no other cars, no stop signs. We'll see if it feels like there's too much G-force. So even though we're on chill mode, it's fairly aggressive. A lot more aggressive than when I was trying to drive for a safety score 99. Let's put it that way. Definitely. Hugging the yellow line more than the right, which is fine with me, especially if there were parked cars. These are just my initial impressions. I've watched a bunch of these videos, but this is going to be a little too easy, but again, good idea for the first one. Let me change my follow distance to 7. Okay, it was on 7. So it's a little closer than I would have done. It feels a little more like a kind of city driver. Okay, here we go. We're coming in kind of hot for a turn to the right here. Auto high beams can be overridden. I just turned off auto high beams. See if it honors that. Yep, high beams are off. Good. Blinker nice and early. That's good. As a human, I would veer to the right, but it didn't. Okay, but now it's turning. A little wonky, a little robotic. It's going around some bushes. I think it kind of did. There were some obstructions on the right there. Now we've got leaves and trees. There's no yellow line. It's hunting just a little. We got some leaves in a pile here. Let's see if it hits them. Nope. And a car that's starting to move. This is going pretty well. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna set another. I'm just gonna disengage and just HVAC here. You want to keep going with chill mode then, the mellow moding?
Well, it's not very chill, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to know what the other one
No yellow line. It's taking it right.
is.
All right, so not impressed. Little herky jerky. If you were looking down at your phone, might make you a little more upset, right? At least you're aware of what's going on. If you're looking up, I would say if your passenger is going to be passive and looking down at their phone, they're not going to be happy with you. Oh, auto high beams on again. Okay, let's disengage. I really would like to see the screen visualization bigger. Were you scared?
No.
I mean, there's no other cars around. We felt in no danger, whatever. It just felt a little robotic and weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, artificial. How about 2 over the speed limit? We're driving. We want to go to +2. Gonna move a little bit. No yellow lines in this road. Okay. And there it is. Car's in full self-driving. I did a light tap, double on the right. So we're on some pretty weird roads with no yellow lines, which is making it a little probably extra herky-jerky. Okay, it's slowing down way early for this stop sign. And that's a mistake. So where's the save button? So we just reported that to like Tesla, like what's up with this ridiculous stop. So that's pretty poor. All right. My foot is hovering over the accelerator or brake. See if it does better with the stop sign. Yes, a whole lot better. Crazy visual angles here. It's got to creep forward to see anything. We're clear, but there's a car coming. And I don't need to hit the accelerator because we're moving right along. We're not in anyone's way. It worked out. Car's coming from my left. It saw it. Truck. Alright. You okay for 5 more minutes of this? Cool. Still seems like it's hugging the left a little bit here. I'd probably go further right on such a wide road with nobody parked, but I don't know, no big deal. As a driver, it takes a little getting used to. Seeing this my first time, the colors and all. I know green means it's quite certain of its path. It's not hunting, it's solid, it's easy. Okay, now we get a left turn arrow. Very smooth, getting the left lane. Alright, it's doing great with painting the road, is my impression so far. A lot better. And we have a tie arriving at the intersection. They better go first. Phew. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's an intervention and a save. So I wasn't going to wait to see what happens. And that's the way it goes. It was slow and no big deal. But yeah, that would be a reason to keep it in chill mode right there. You just witnessed it. Our car was second. And it arrived and then decided to go when the other guy went. That was a bad move. Alright, did I freak you out or hit the brakes early enough for you to not freak out? Yeah, okay. But that's an example where you don't want to be pointing at the screen, you don't want to be looking at camera. You gotta look at the road and have your foot ready the entire time. This is work. It's not a passive thing. Yeah. That was pretty bad. So yeah, I can't really...
It's not something you would be using on a long trip.
Well, highway's a different story because it's already good at, but you're right, around town. Or if you're in San Francisco with a bunch of cars, and it's crazy. There are videos of people doing, no interventions, 40 miles, but my question is, are they irritating cars around them, behind them, all that? And not a real fan of watching it if you're someone behind you's beeping or if there's anything weird about it. That's just a no-no.
It's irritating me being in the car.
Because of what? This weird speed changes just now that made no sense? Yep. That's fair. So yeah, I just dropped speed for no... Well, no, never mind. The speed limit changed and it did a little abrupt. So it dropped the speed for a reason, but it wasn't the smoothest.
Like,
Okay.
I would slow down here.
This was perfect. A little fast, yep.
Yeah.
But it handled the lanes perfectly. That felt like a human driving, right?
No.
No? The steering wheel, I mean.
They should slow down. I wouldn't know about the steering wheel.
Okay.
They should slow down before intersections anyways.
Anyhow, for the left-right movements of the steering wheel, it was very silky smooth. That was the best intersection yet. But she's right. I would have slowed down for a little limited visual distance there at an intersection like that, where your sight line is diminished. As a human, I would definitely have slowed down. I totally agree. It can detect the car's blinker in front of us, but it's not rendering it on the screen. I wish I could look at the screen where I was the driver, but it's not showing a blinker. Pretty simple intersection. It's got it perfect. Still not showing big, so don't know what's... There it is. It's that simple, my goodness. All right, here goes the car. Okay, a little slow, but I'm okay. I was about to intervene and give it a little goose and gas, but I didn't need to. It worked out. There's a car behind me. Paying attention to him. Railroad track. Okay, because we're on this mellow mode, it should come to a complete 0 mile per hour stop. And it didn't. 2 miles an hour. I guess that's acceptable, but not great. So I'm gonna ding it. Oops. Hitting that camera button is not particularly easy while driving. I know people have talked about that. It should be a way bigger thumb target there. Alright, coming in a little hot. 25 mile an hour zone and no, still 30, never mind. So we're in agreement. We'll probably slow down on that curve a little more. Alright. Pretty smooth. Speeding up after that car got out of our way. The biggest thing is, it's still similar in stress level to the safety scoring. Good job. There's nothing going on. You have to pay attention at all times for both, whether it's full self-driving or safety scoring. Okay, we have a little hazard to yield here. I'm going to bring my speed down. Okay, I brought it down to 25 with my thumb wheel. And I thought, yeah, it's still 30 around here, not 25. All right, actually kind of surprised on that. A lot of cars parked. Could be people walking. Okay, we've reached our destination. Disengage. Keep driving the car. And take a right. There's a human here. Interesting. If I turn my blinker on, I don't actually know what it's going to do. But I do kind of want it to turn right, and it's not. The path line is showing me the left, so I just intervened by pushing the steering wheel a little. Did that, you felt that a little bit, the steering wheel jerk?
Yeah.
Yeah, slight. I didn't go nuts, right? Tug it, just gentle. And auto high beams are engaged every time I re-engage autopilot, it seems. So that's something to be aware of. Takes a little getting used to, but after 3 miles now, I think I'm pretty used to it. But yeah, definitely advisable to do this with no other cars for your very first time. There's definitely a little learning curve to all the things you got to think about. Okay, it went around that grass that was there. I don't know if that showed in the visual. That's where it's fun to have the camera. Here comes some more leaves piled up. And it went around them. Nicely done. Fairly smoothly. Could have done it earlier. I spotted those leaves way before the car bothered to move to the left a little. That's okay. And we're slowing down for not sure what reason now. Car's turning right. That's cool. We might have a giant puddle of water up here to avoid. Let's see what happens. Yes, puddle of water's there. High beams. We're going right through the water, aren't we? Alright. No thank you. So yeah, there's no puddle detection or pothole detection. And, well, you know that from what you just saw. Whoa. Okay, so since I intervened with the pedal, you get this weird motion, right? So what just happened is I annoyed my passenger with the car coming to a stop pretty quickly. So yeah, overriding with the gas pedal, you really want to disengage here so you can come to a stop smoothly. So my point is, messing with the pedal of the accelerator is kind of weird. If you let off, you have to taper it off very gently. I messed that stop up. It was pretty uncomfortable. Alright, so I want the car to turn right. Well, these are just major roads. It's not going to be as interesting.
It's going to go straight.
The path line is straight. You're absolutely right. So it's completely ignoring my blinker. I'm going to disengage it. And now I'll just drive smoothly as a human. It's right on red. Creep to see. And can't re-engage right now. There. Re-engage. Alright. It's boogieing right over the train tracks at 37. That wasn't bad for stopping. It maybe started slowing a little later than I would have, but it's improved over what I had before 5 hours ago. Any other thoughts? You're not queasy or anything. Not extreme.
No. But I'm also not enjoying the ride.
All right. That's an honest response. All right, let's just leave recording through this somewhat complicated intersection, and I can set a
It's not driving by
destination.
itself. It's going to turn on you.
Yep, so we'll go here. There we go. Okay, light turn green. Lane change. Nope, don't know what it's talking about. So, all right, I have to review what I said as my no, I just set my destination straight. So that was a fail. And I'm gonna tap camera. I'll just point out, I check my rear view mirrors, my side view mirrors, I look around for awareness. There's nobody around me, right? So looking away momentarily at this situation, not a big deal. If I was in the city, no, I wouldn't even want to look away to touch that camera button. So, all right, back to a little more self-driving. All right, just a straight road. Let's see if we stay right between the yellow and white. What do you think? It's pretty good. This is actually our first time, I think, on the road this clearly marked with yellow and white. I feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm gonna get hit by oncoming cars. I'd probably go 1 foot to the right though, if I was driving, since I have so much room. Just to reduce the risk of a head-on a little bit. But it's pretty good. So on these roads, I think it's quite good. Okay, I gotta disable high beams again. Blinking yellow is confusing it. I'm gonna let it do it. There's no one behind me. It brought it down to 11. All right.
This is not safe driving.
Yeah, if there were other cars around, that would have looked pretty weird. Like, what's wrong with this guy? I wouldn't say dangerous. There's no one around us. There was no risk to you and me right now. But if other humans or pedestrians were watching what just happened, they'd think,
I've gotten rear-ended.
That was a pretty slow slope. You felt that was, you mean the yellow light?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, our car slowed down to 10 at a blinking yellow. A normal human wouldn't have done that. If someone was right on my tail, that wouldn't have been good. Would the car care if someone was right in the tail? That's a whole nother story. Hey, we're slowing down for mysterious reasons. And I'm not going to see what happens. I'm just going to override.
It's not mysterious at the end. That's where you've been
Thank you. Mystery solved. This is where it helps to have a co-pilot, because I'm not looking at the screen. It is fair to say that didn't go too well. And my wife's comments were candid, right? And we got to leave soon. So that's going to be it for tonight. This video's probably not going to get published that soon. But anyhow, my observations. It's got a ways to go. It will be interesting for discussion points. Other people are way more risk tolerant. I've been with other people's cars as a passenger, and they're looking at their phones and looking everywhere else but the road, which drives me bonkers. It's 3 days later. I've had some time to think about this a little more, and I got to add some perspective after listening to this video cut. In my IT career, I've always been a believer in providing candid, constructive feedback to companies when I bump into product flaws. I see this situation with Tesla similarly. The stakes are much higher, but it does feel like a good use of my time to pick apart video replays of my own drives, learning to do much better myself. Well, next time I try this bait out, probably waiting until the next release. I also learned I need more ambient cabin lighting at night so you can see my steering wheel. I should also mention, this has been the best car, the safest car, the most fun car either my wife and I have ever owned. Okay, I want to be super clear on that. And we've been driving cars for well over 3 decades, so I'm still smiling every time I drive, even after 3 years and 50,000 miles of experience. You hear this from a lot of Tesla owners. No regrets. low maintenance, always full tank of electrons in the morning. The ownership experience has been great. I opted into FSD Beta. This isn't something Tesla pushed on me, okay? Feedback for Tesla, I would say I did send them email for instances where there was rolling through stops, even though autopilot was set to chill. It's actually supposed to go to 0 miles an hour. I believe that was right in the release notes. And also, good on Tesla for not requiring a non-disclosure agreement and for slowing the rollout a bit lately. So we're still in the 199 safety score category. These are very early days, again, with a very limited subset of folks accessing this beta. Here we go with them using the technology that's already baked into the cars to use software smarts to make the entire fleet safer. That is the whole goal here. Not for nerds having fun or people looking for TikTok likes with doing dumb stuff, which could very well ruin it for everybody. So I really hope saving lives is the overall focus here. And given the amazing job Tesla's done so far, compared to all other companies' driver assist programs out on the highway, which tend to rely on map data and not handle any kind of corner cases well at all, I really do have faith that this does seem to be the correct path forward that Tesla is choosing. How they get there, opinions are going to widely vary on how to do that safely. I completely understand that. I'm not naive about that. For safety improvement would definitely be to use driver monitoring system, which is only in more recent Model 3 and Model Ys. There's no interior-facing camera on older S's where they pay for full self-driving. Refreshed, new S's and X's do have interior driver monitoring system cameras. The in-car camera video for the eye position monitoring does not leave the car, by the way. I'm not saying it'd be an easy move for Tesla to make, but I really think they might regret someday that they didn't use driver monitoring systems for safety score and for driving autopilot. If your eyeballs are not looking at the road and Tesla catches you doing that often enough, full self-driving should be disabled for the duration of the trip, and with enough strikes against you, just eliminate it from the program entirely. And your money refunded, I guess. So it's tricky. Thanks again for watching. Please consider giving at least a thumbs up, if even better, a comment or two on how you honestly feel. Constructive feedback in the YouTube comments is always appreciated. If I do test this again without a co-pilot, I would definitely not do voice narration while driving. Also, don't conclude anything based on these early days, right? Check back again in a month or 5 months, see how the videos look. Again, I even have a slightly back level code. There's people with newer code. It might already be better, or it might take 5 months to look appreciably better to you. But just don't conclude anything based on this one video. Thanks again for watching, and bye for now.